share a secret with you. You have to promise me that it's not going to leave this room. I can tell already I can't trust you guys.
Going through life without legs is actually not that big a deal.
It's actually not even that hard. The real question is, how does that happen? How can somebody go from a place of basically an end of the world, game over type scenario, here we are, all of a sudden we've got no legs. How does somebody go from there to a place where they can sit up here and tell you that it's not a big deal? One word: perception.
I heard that almighty crack as that piece of that rock wall broke loose and absolutely slammed me down into the creek bed.
I got out of there, they moved me to the general ward, and it was then and only then that I started thinking, so what does this mean? Right, what kind of life can somebody possibly have with no legs? To me, it all comes down to that one word: perception. I don't see this as a big deal. How you see kind of lays the foundation for how you think, the decisions you make, the actions you take, because how we see changes everything. When we see differently, we act differently. What I really wanted to know was if I could get any of this guy back again. Could a guy with no legs climb a mountain? Is that something that's even possible? And the truth was, there was only one way to find out. This photo was taken not even a year after the accident. Found myself on top of Cradle Mountain.
And I decided right there and then that I was going to look at life through the eyes of an explorer, and I was actually going to get excited about all this stuff that I was going to have to figure out, and it was like somebody reached into my head and flipped a switch. The way that I got to the top of Cradle Mountain was by navigating each and every little obstacle I came to. And like I said, there were probably 20 of them each day. I would come to the next big pile of rocks. I'd have to navigate around a cliff or something. At one point, I actually had to crawl underneath a huge boulder. Right, imagine how easy that was for me. Huge, huge obstacle. What I do is I stop and I ask myself, what are you doing here? Are you focusing on the summit or are you focusing on the steps? What do I need to do next? Not to get myself to there, but to there, and then to there, and then to there. And here's the thing, what happens when we overcome something? What does it do? Right, it makes us stronger. Something that was really big and scary, all of a sudden it's not a big deal. There's probably 40,000 people watching the finish of this race. It's a big, big deal. I'll never ever forget the looks on the faces, especially of those kids, as I came up the beach that day towards the finish line, because I'll pretty much guarantee you, some of them never swum in the ocean since. Right. I guarantee it. Now, I'm not usually a bad guy, but it crossed my mind that I could roll around in the sand, hanging onto my legs, screaming out, "Shark! Shark!" We're not talking about climbing mountains, are we? We kind of are, but that's not really what we're talking about here. What we're talking about is that if a guy like me can go from here to here, what does that mean for you guys?
What does that say about human potential? Right, that's inside us, all of us. It's mind-blowing what we can pull off.